Hello and welcome to ISTV English News. This is Panorama presenting the news. Let's see the top stories. Volunteers of Kedo trying to improve state economy by providing self-employment. Now let's see the news in detail. The earlier scene of porters from outside the state carrying goods off the market, women vendors or soap shops selling sugarcane juice or just fried popcorns or ice creams, etc. that used to be seen regularly in Imphal city till recently is changing gradually. Many indigenous volunteers are taking place of such people by building a work culture and creating a way for themselves to earn a livelihood. Among such self-employed section, Kanglei Economic Development Organization (KEDO) is also becoming remarkably active. Within 5 or 6 years, the volunteers of KEDO are expected to play an active role in developing work culture in Manipur, the volunteers hope. KEDO was first established on April 20 of 2007 with the objective of creating source of income for the indigenous people and also protecting the identity of the indigenous people of the state. Today, the organization has grown, spreading its wings widely. When the volunteers of the organization started working for the first time, the market, women vendors and many sections of the people could not believe what they were up to. They also faced a lot of hurdles. But today, about 150 volunteers of KEDO are working at different places in Imphal city, including Quaramban Market. A member is said to be able to earn at least between 10,000 to 15,000 rupees a month. The idea of KEDO is not to have to depend on others and usher in an environment of work culture in Manipur. The volunteers are not only handling different forms of jobs in Imphal city, but also growing different vegetables and crops in a 2-pari field which the organization purchased on its own land. KEDO strongly believes that once the indigenous people of the state can take place of the workers from outside the state, then naturally the influx of outsiders into the state could.
Mi ma pon se Quran mo na tawin thok su ji kai ngai le ten khali du bazar thola thok su si mi na sim ji hen kali dai di paisa ju yum da le jan da tan no paisa do adu dagi ang khai me hen kal ga paisa tan no me ngal ngai matam de mai khong bu store me adu mai khong bu de mo gi mai khong bu to ga line gari chale ai ji le jere simpam je ke no ne nga ka pani nga ka ko je du si nga ka ko ji da nga gi setal la bani na nga kapo matam ji udrikan dai hanam mama imata da pod hwalaga lupa sani se hum tam na ngame asi tan bol loiraga amuk kangsa yum ai gi nga kapam da muk sang amuk nga kapo da lupa sami songa chatro dum tam ngame no mo da chatre sani pan sig sang da lai adu ta da ba hai ba da lupa songa de dum tai.
Then naturally the influx of outsiders into the state could fall.
Actually 70% ni koi bitom na chana moi tha ba suri bo ba suri bo tha bo soi na mo da Makuju India ki citizen la moina mani putla mani India citizen la moina makuju koi kiram tam mani putla ma da mun pe na chalo hai ba tan jo so makuju thapok se koi tam tam mun tam da choi da make moi ba koi salo phu ta da ma sa ma tam hanjagi ma ta hanjagi na khale
koi top sing na suri na top sing ja koi na kai ba ki ba tan ba yaw da sura ga koi subam lai ta ta ga di sa na hanjagi da.
I'm ready. Telero. Editor kar lai the. Some say hujik pudi perfectly straight ado kankhar kanda di freezy. Relax. Perfectly straight.
Aina semi anoba sunsil perfectly straight with straight lock technology maramdi. Some kankraba matung da so align straight oina laina bagidama.
Wow. Hujik su straight oirina. Straight and gorgeous. Sunsilk perfect straight. Lock top you. Rock top you.
Now let's see some national and international news. It's time for Prime Minister Narendra Modi to blow one more candle on his cake as he turns 65 on Thursday. Celebrations are underway across the country to wish the Prime Minister in new and special ways. Children in a school in Siliguri dressed up as Narendra Modi to wish the Prime Minister. In his home state, Gujarat, locals offered over 6,000 kg of laddus to Lord Ganesh to mark the occasion, while in Bundelkhand, a huge cloth with messages by school children wishing Modi on his birthday was unfurled. In over a year since he took charge as the Prime Minister, agreements and disagreements have continued over the leadership abilities of Narendra Modi. However, there is some voice of unison heard when it comes of the oratory skills of the Prime Minister. The phrases coined by him and his government since he was appointed as the face of the Bharatiya Janata Party's Lok Sabha poll campaign have caught the attention of one and all. As we wish the Prime Minister a happy birthday, here is a look at some of the catchy phrases coined by the Modi government. 3 more persons have died of dengue in Delhi, which takes the number of dead to 14 and what officials call the worst outbreak of the disease in the capital in 5 years. Over 1,900 people in the city have been affected by dengue. The Delhi High Court has showed responses from the centre, the state government and civic bodies on steps being taken to tackle the crisis. Almost all government-run hospitals are struggling to cope with the crush of patients with limited beds to offer. Images of 3 or 4 patients sharing one bed have been shown on TV channels. The Delhi government has asked private hospitals to buy more beds and hire more doctors, nurses and paramedics. State-run hospitals have been ordered to increase beds by 1,000 by Sunday. Private hospitals have been asked not to charge more than rupees 600 for the dengue test, which is offered free of charge in government facilities. After the death of 2 young boys last week after they were allegedly denied treatment, the government has warned private hospitals that they could lose their license for turning patients away. Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain said even if they don't have beds, hospitals must treat and stabilize the patients. Last week, Avinash Road 7 and Aman Sarma 6 died of dengue after allegedly being denied treatment by private hospitals. Avinash's parents committed suicide following his death, which provoked an outcry. The Indian Medical Association has said that the current virus type is less fatal compared to the one in 2013 and has appealed to people not to panic or demand hospital admission unless it is urgent. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has said his government is exploring a law to facilitate the temporary takeover of private hospitals during emergencies. All schools in Delhi have been asked to ensure that children are dressed in full sleeve shirts, trousers and shalwar kameez for the next 1 month. Dengue cases generally peak in October after the end of the monsoon rains. Symptoms include a sudden fever, headache, muscle and joint pains. The disease is also known as breakbone fever, for the intense pain victims can suffer. Well, that's all we have for now, but before we wind up, let's have a quick look at the top stories once again. Volunteers of KEDO trying to improve state economy by providing self-employment. Thanks for joining us and stay tuned for more updates.